Welcome everyone. So I thought I'd make a very quick update video on the setup that I'm currently running. Basically, a few people who have been watching my PoE Ninja profile have noticed that I've made a few changes and have been reaching out in private messages and on the YouTube comments just asking what's been going on and why the changes, because they varied a little bit from the recent videos. In essence, after finishing off the speed project, as I labeled it, I pivoted in another direction and tried to set up something, or experiment at least, with increased rarity and trying to get that high up and see if it made a big difference, and that's what I've been basically running at the moment. So as you can see here, I'm actually running the setup right now, just live as I'm chatting into the mic, and I'm still moving at a pretty reasonable rate. I believe my movement speed, once I have rite of passage up, is at about 100%. I still have my full car speed penalty reduction maxed out, so there's no car speed penalty, so I'm still moving around pretty efficiently. In terms of the gear changes, where most of the significant alterations have been made, if I just jump back into town. So what I've done is, as I said, I've been trying to focus on increasing rarity, and how I've done this is predominantly through the helmet and the rings. So I've invested in a gold ring with the max rolled implicit. I use a few divines to actually re-roll the rarity rolls to try and max them out as much as possible, but across the three rarity rolls here on the prefix, suffix and implicit, totals 64 rarity. And then mirrored that with a Calandra's Touch. This is a very good way of getting high value in your second ring slot. If you get a very high value investment or craft, a ring that you really like, that's worth more than about 14 or 15 div, which is what the Calandra's Touch currently goes for. This is a very good option. So just really max out the rarity, still getting the max life, cast speed. The fire resistance initially was a bit of a useless mod because I was actually running Veil of the Night just to try and bump up my defenses. But then I realized the helmet can roll a prefix suffix rarity roll as well, so I went for a two tier 1 resistance, and both rarity rolls tier 1 as well. A little bit of max life as to go with our life stacking and Atrolui's bloodletting tech. And then because we're all of a sudden worried about our resistances not running Veil and having a little bit less health, the two tier 1 resistances on the helmet and the previously, I thought, useless fire resistance actually helped out here, and I've managed to get all my resistances above 50, and then with the rite of passage and getting the 30% all res whenever I kill a rare, almost getting 100% uptime in maps on this, I cap out my resistances no problem. I've actually filled out a few of the sockets on my gloves as well to help out on that front, dropped the car speed. So dropped quite a significant amount of damage, dropped a little bit of movement speed across the board, but I've got my rarity up to over 250. And I could get that even higher. I've sunk about 20 divs into trying to re-roll the desecrated mod on this amulet and just finally gave up and settled for a bit more life through the strength attribute. But could get another 25% potentially through that desecrated mod there, bringing that total up to 275. Also, with respect to the rings, Ingenuity with some overrolled bonus rolls on the corruption. Could probably get even a better one than this. This is a relatively cheap one, but then further bumps up. So this ring by itself, if you look at rarity 250, gives a massive amount of that rarity with the combination of Calandra's Touch and the Ingenuity belt. And that's essentially what I'm running. So for anyone that has been kind of sniping and looking at my PoE Ninja profile, that is the reasons why there's been some changes. Whether I prefer this over the full-on movement speed, and which is more efficient for farming currency and maps, remains to be seen. I have the rare 250 rarity. You do notice quite a bit more higher tier currencies dropping, but whether that balances out against moving about maybe not half, but a little bit, about a third of the speed, don't know which is better. Up to your personal preferences. One little last thing, I wasn't aware of these gloves. The other content creators, I really apologize, forgot your name, Acelia. The other Demon Form content creator out there recently released a video. He suggested he uses these gloves for farming single target bosses where there's no other mobs around. You just get another big boost of rarity as well. So stuff like Coolmac, Olroth probably. You could swap it out for Zesh once you get to him. Any single target boss, you can swap this in for another 50% rarity as well on your gloves. Anyway, very quick video. Just wanted, because people kept messaging me, so I thought it would be easy just to do an update video and let people know why the changes and what I'm currently running. And yeah, as I said, a lot of people reaching out, a lot of people having success with the various builds, and it's really nice to hear. Always feel free to reach out. I try and reply to any direct messages. I've been messaged in game quite a bit recently, but yeah, good luck everyone.